The COVID-19 pandemic has had profound effects on South Asian countries. Like much of the rest of the world, South Asian governments have mobilized public and private resources to control community spread. Voluntary social distancing measures have been introduced as well as more aggressive lockdowns and quarantines. Governments have faced to count directly with the socio-economic implications of the pandemic response. Considering the impacts of COVID-19 crisis on societies, economics and vulnerable groups is fundamental to inform and modify the responses of governments and partners to recover from the crisis. Without urgent socio-economic responses, global suffering will escalate, jeopardizing lives and livelihoods for years to come. Immediate development responses in this crisis must be undertaken with an eye to the future. They navigate those trade-offs given their social, demographic, and geographic realities. India, the major regional power, had to play an important role for the regional economic integration, but it has not done so. A situation that facilitated China entry into the regional spheres of influence. For example, SARC has been almost made into a dysfunctional regional body despite its immense potential. While in Delhi has been focusing on political relations with its neighbors, China is doing the same. It is not the fact that countries like Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh are very happily embracing China. They are living between China and India like the leveling between China and India. I am Jubair Ahmed, coordinator South Asian Young Politician Forum. My guest tonight, Barrister Mir Helal, member National Executive and Foreign Relations Committee, Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Mr. Shafi Jan, Central Vice President, Insaf Youth Wing, Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. Mr. Rohit Chawhal, National Media In Charge and In Charge, Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh BJYM, Youth Wing of BJP. Mr. Dupak Prema, former Member of Parliament, National Assembly, Bhutan. Mr. Pramod is Gurgan, lecturer, Tribhuvan University, and member of Center for Planning, Research and Training Academy, Nepali Congress. Please welcome Mr. Prema. Mr. Prema, please welcome. Mr. Prema, as a former Member of Parliament of Bhutan, please share your experience and knowledge, the COVID-19 impact on your society, your country, especially on economy, your tourism, your construction, and your youth. Especially, I know your king has mentioned that 330 Bhutanese are out of work. So in this situation, what's the role that the government is playing in Bhutan right now?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed, for giving me this platform to explain the COVID-19 scenario in Bhutan. And before I begin, I just wanted to say hi to Mr. Barrister, Mr. Hilal, Rohit Chalal from India. I think we are also in Facebook. I think we are
Yes,
friends. And Mr.
yes,
Pramod Hari Buragian. So I think we out here, the SAARC countries are all together. So that is a big thing that no, we need to cherish. So the COVID-19 situation in Bhutan, till now, there were around 84 infected, but recovered 78 are recovered till now. So it was all imported. And due to this COVID-19, the death is zero. And with our visionary leadership, with our His Majesty, the King, he has been working tirelessly, and also the Prime Minister, the Member of Parliament, no, they are also working tirelessly, and also the Health Ministry, they are actively involved, no, to keep COVID-19 out of bay. So till now we are doing well, but we never know when things might change. And in terms of this employment issue, I think we are also working in terms of build Bhutan, so that we are rescaling, no, we unemployed youth. So till now, I think we are trying to employ 7,000 youth to be employed, so that we not in terms of building, in terms of manufacturing industries, no. So we just want to skill them, give them the skills that is required. So that way, I think we are trying to solve the unemployment issue currently. So I think with this disease, I think we have to live with this pandemic. I think no one have now concrete finding that okay, this disease can be cured, but there are some talks going around that okay, they might develop a vaccine, but I think it will take a lot of time. So these are the things that we are preparing for from our side. So anything, Ahmed, I think
Thank you very
did I
much,
make it clear?
Prema. Thank you very much. Mr. Pramad, I draw your kind attention, please. Mr. Pramad, according to the editorial column of the Hindustan Times on July 8, uh, according to their thought, the rise of ultra nationalism and the emergence of a new generation of Nepal elite, which does not share the same emotional bond with India, mean Kathmandu wants a reset of ties now. But while India has benefited from the special ties too, this reset will have clear cost for Nepal. As a Nepali, how do you evaluate their thoughts? Have you got my point?
Yeah, please repeat it. Repeat once again. I do not understand
Okay.
clearly.
According to the Hindustan Times on July 8, the rise of ultranationalism and the emergence of a new generation of Nepal elite, which does not share the same emotional bond with India, mean Kathmandu wants a
Uh-huh.
reset of ties now. But while India has benefited from the special ties too, this reset will have clear cost for Nepal. As a Nepali, how do you evaluate their thought? Thought means the Hindustan Times thought.
Okay. One of the paper in this time time. It's okay. It doesn't matter. But basically, the foreign policy of Nepal is based on non-alignment. I just want to say our foreign policy is based on non-alignment. Our fundamental objective is to enhance the dignity of nation by safeguarding sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence, promoting economic prosperity. In the recent years, after the Nepal Communist Party led the government, there has been some criticism of Nepal PM being close with China. That might be the case that the government will clarify. I want to repeat it again. That might be the case. The government will clarify. But we believe, as the cadres or worker of Nepali Congress, Nepal should maintain a healthy relation with its neighbors. Nepal always aims to contribute global peace, harmony, security, and we youth ready to take Nepal's relation with its neighbors to a greater height. Some disputes or some misunderstandings must be resolved by bilateral diplomatic means. That should be conversation and consultations among the government representatives. I think so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pramad. Please welcome Mr. Rohit. Rohit is a very dynamic young leader in Bharat, and he is a very asset of BJP. Mr. Rohit, Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi's move to arrange a video conference of the SAARC states to collectively rein in the threat of COVID-19 can be seen as a thoughtful drive to respond to Chinese growing influence in the region by asserting India's leadership. Why did India desire to active SAARC during the COVID-19 pandemic? Was India's decision to convene SAARC a geopolitical masterstroke?
First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Jubair, and namaste and good evening to everyone, all my friends and co-speakers. Uh, what the question you ask, like, first of all, our Prime Minister is trying continuously to work with the SAARC countries because we believe that our neighbors are most important. We can change the we can't change our neighbors. We can change the friends, but we can't change the neighbors. So neighbors are the most important for us always, and especially for the SAARC countries. Like our Prime Minister taken the step after the this COVID pandemic started by organizing a SAARC webinar video conference with the SAARC leaders, and after that continuously working closely with the our neighbors by even created the SAARC fund to help the uh, countries, SAARC countries. So I think one of the our because our Prime Minister continuously as a visionary leader, he's trying to make good relation with not only with the other countries but especially with the neighbors, because neighbors are the most important. And during the all the natural calamities taken place, India always try to help as soon as possible. So this is the natural, I think, problem, and hopefully, as a neighbor, we will try our best to make our good relation with the neighbors, and especially if you say that because uh,
Yeah.
India, not only India, but the SAARC countries are like having the our friend from the Pakistan also joined. So most welcome. Uh, I think India and the SAARC countries, this region having the one-fifth of the world population,
Hello.
the humanity. So it is very important for us to be together in this problem. So I think the question you ask about the China
Hello.
we 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 see that China uh, is like a neighbor. We are always try to have a good relation with China also.
No
So
headphone ground
we never
or
believe
what?
that it's like to be as I said that we can't change the neighbors. So our Prime Minister also invited him. Our Prime Minister visited China also to have a good relationship. Even after the when our Prime Minister became taken the oath in 2014, he visited the Nepal, the first country. So we always want a good relations with our neighbors. So as our Pramodji said that I think Nepal and India has a very good thousands of year relationship. So it's like a beti and roti relationship. So I think this is the very in the upcoming time. I think the things will be fine.
Thank you, Mr. Rohit. Please welcome Mr. Helal. Mr. Mir, you are a young, popular politician as well as a talent lawyer. The political party you belong in Bangladesh, could that party play an accountable role in this pandemic? How? Again, being a lawyer, you could realize the importance of regular judicial process that has already been hampered by COVID-19. In this reality, what would be the best remedy for justice seeker? Because you know millions of accused are in prison.
Thank you, Mr. Zubair, and good evening to all the speakers who are from different parts of the world, especially Bhutan, India, Pakistan, and Nepal, and all our viewers. A very good evening. See, this is a very unfortunate phase that we're going through, this COVID-19 pandemic. And the world has sort of come to a standstill. It's not only in Bangladesh, but it's throughout the world that our regular lives has been affected. Uh, so that way, the political party that I represent in Bangladesh, it's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, is one of the largest parties of the country and is now at present the opposition. But we as a party, before it actually got into bad shape in Bangladesh, we started by the instruction of our acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman. We have actually started public awareness since mid-February, or beginning of the year. So after that, we tried through our Doctors Association of Bangladesh and Zia Rahman Foundation and our party, we have tried to create awareness because this was very much necessary in our part of the world, because people, the literacy rate, you have to realize, is not as good as it should be. So it was very important that we make the public or the mass people aware of the situation, what spreads this virus. So we tried to do it from our party. Then later on, starting March, we started giving away protective materials and sanitizers, masks, and so on, gloves, so on. And then later part, when, because see, in Bangladesh, a lot of people are basically dependent on the daily work. So it's like daily laborers, or they work daily. They either do the rickshaw, or these sort of people who actually have to work every day to earn the living. So our party, under the instruction of our acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman, we have actually helped out about 2 crore 28 lakh people in Bangladesh since the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in Bangladesh. However, the situation is quite grim, and as a state, I don't think we have managed it well. Our health sector has really suffered. We could not provide medical facilities for mass of our people. So the COVID situation in Bangladesh is in a pretty much bad shape, and there has been a lot of issues with the reports, that some fake reports were produced, which again sort of did not help us to with the COVID situation. And now, as a lawyer, when you say the mentioned, coming back to the second point, where late about a month and a half, our virtual court system started. See, in this scenario, when the uh, infected people in COVID is on the upsurge in Bangladesh, I don't think it's actually a wise idea to have opened the situation overall, the lockdown that we were in for the first month or so. So everywhere else, the lockdown has been more or less lifted, but only in courts it has been prevailing till now. And we have a few courts, a number of courts compared to the regular benches. We have started the virtual proceedings in court. See, virtual court proceedings in Bangladesh was not publicized from very long, and it was not. People are not used to this system, so it is going to take some time for our lawyers and the justice seekers to get used to this new system or new model. So I understand where you're coming from, saying that regular courts must be resumed soon, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that this pandemic, there is not enough medical facilities in Bangladesh. Neither there are sort of ways that the government can actually contain it this way. So the government is in a dilemma as what to do. I think they're suffering from some indecision as to what should be done. But I don't think that, according to me, I don't think it's still a time where lockdown should have been lifted straight off in any sector, let alone the judicial sector. So, I think maybe we have to adjust with the new virtual court system for another few months maybe ahead, so that at least something, because in the courts it's very crowded, people come to very close proximity. You are used to the legal system of our country's legal system. Here the clients or the lawyers or the court assistants, they are not as aware that we are. So it's a balance. You have to strike a balance between whether to start court or whether to maintain health and safety. So I think the lawyers and the bar council and the government is trying to measure all these three and trying to come to a point of mutual adjustment. Thank you for this. Then maybe I'll join in later on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Helal. Uh, Mr. Pramod, I draw your kind attention, please. Mr. Pramod, Mr. Pramod,
Yes, please.
how the corona situation going on in your country and in its impact on economy, socio-economic response, education, and overall on entire society? Besides these, Nepal is facing national or international political disorder too. So, what's your opinion as a Nepali?
Uh, till now, the total cases has reached around 18,000, but the government made 3 lakh, around 12,000 PCR test has been carried out. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the total number of recoveries around 12,000, and the died passes away person it is around 40. I'm telling about I'm telling it the data of yesterday. I'm telling the data of Saturday. And definitely this pandemic affects entire world. Nepal is one of them. That's why our educational system, our employment facilities, our social relations break down because of the pandemic. But slowly and gradually, our social life trying to come as the past days. Now, in odd and even number, our private vehicles, according to the Nepalese calendar, we can ride from here to there. Still, big malls, cinemas, and educational institutions are closed. Some of the students from the urban area studying by taking the virtual instruments. Zoom classes are going. So, in totality, we are fighting against pandemic as human. To fight against pandemic, there is no political color, there is no regional color. We are fighting together. Basically, our three-layer government, it is federal and federal to local government. Federal government a little bit in confusion because of its own internal party crisis, but the local government and the youth wings doing work very sincerely to develop quarantine facilities of the quarantine, to take seriously about isolations, and to flourish awareness how to save with COVID-19. We are fighting together. So, as the beauty of the nation, we have three tier from Himal, hilly region, Himal, and mountain to Tarai. We are together. We are integrated to fight against this pandemic. That's why we are fighting. We are fighting. We are just fighting, and we hope we'll win the situation and back to the similar life the past according to the past days. I think so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pramad. Now, I would like to draw the attention of Mr. Shapir Jan. Mr. Shapir Jan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jubair?
Fine. Thank you very much for joining with us from Pakistan.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Jan, in the last national election, it had been noticed by world media that a larger portion of youth sympathized with the political agenda of PTI. How PTI had achieved their attention. But recently, those youth are frustrating why.
Thank you, Jubair, for inviting me on the conference. The question about the youth role, according to PTI, youth is always a core supporter of Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. This is mainly because of the star personality of Imran Khan, as has fair financial character. The financial fairness is missing in the other political parties. That's why youth of Pakistan with Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. On the other, because PTI managed to get attention of youth voters who were fed up of corrupt dynastic rulers. Other than the manifesto of our party is a source of catching. I could not agree with this, that the men of the youth of Pakistan is frustrated with Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. Youth is still with Pakistan Tehreek Insaf because they believe on Imran Khan and the Prime Minister Imran Khan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jan. Mr. Prema, are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Mr. Prema,
Yes.
according to your king, last couple of days ago, he mentioned that nearly 30,000 Bhutanese are out of job. They mostly came from abroad. So, in this case, how the government is rehabilitating such people in Bhutan?
Employment is a serious issue around the globe right now due to this COVID-19 issue. But out here, with the elected leaders and due to our visionary monarch, we are doing pretty well in terms of creating jobs. No, just like we have that short-term funds that has been released. No, till now there are so many tourists coming. There were the trekking route that was not maintained well. So due to this COVID-19, we got a chance to build all the all the trekking route, the buildings. No, so that way I think youth are also gainfully employed. And on the other hand, there was a program called Build Bhutan to that was initiated by the government. So where people, those who have skill can also work, and those who doesn't have any skill, they were given the skills, and the salary ranges from 12,000 to 25,000 newton per month rupees. So that way, we in Bhutanese context, the elected leaders and our visionary king, they are working hard to keep everyone employed, but that is not possible also in today's era due to this COVID-19. But we are pulling really hard, and I think we can't achieve 100%, but we can achieve at least 99%. So that way, I think we are also being very positive. So that way things are shaping up, and I think we are doing pretty good than most of the countries around the globe. So thank you, Zubair.
Thank you, Mr.
Hope I
Prema.
answered your question.
Thank you. Mr. Rohit, I have a great and big question to you. India had already emerged as the largest democratic country, but recently it had been criticized that India lost her democratic look because of some controversial amendments like Article 370 tossed out from Constitution, India Citizenship Amendment Act, and border killing in Bangladesh that are creating unnecessary tensions with its neighbors. How do you evaluate these issues as a representative of young politicians? Mr. Rohit, unmute, please. Please unmute.
Mr. Yeah, my friend, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Was clear.
Yes. Okay. So I think your question is very because of this pandemic going on. I think we let's talk on this situation going on and the political things. Let's not to better not to discuss about those political things. I think countries are our senior leaders are working on it. So and everyone is seeing that. So I think we are more focused right now is how to save the lives of the people, and that is the most important thing. Our prime minister, our visionary prime minister, is more up to that thing. And that you are talking about the Article 370, and see, I think that is a past now. That is also has been removed, so it's nothing. I think, and we believe that Kashmir is the interior part of India, and it's very. So we are have no issues. Your voice is not clear.
Okay, Mr. Rohit, thank you very much.
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat your question? What
Oh,
you said?
no, you are, would not like to come forward to discuss regarding these issues, but my
No, no, it's
question
completely
was to
fine.
you that
I
as
have
a young
no
politician,
issue,
how
but
do
I think as a young leader, we are more towards right now in helping the people of the country. And as a young, I'm associated with the young organization. So my focus, our organization, because we are the world largest political party right now, and in the leadership of our Prime Minister, we are continuously helping in this period. We are continuously helping the people by providing like free ration to them, free food to them. As a young organization, we started like feed the needy. So in that we did that, as well as we have provided the sanitizers, face cover, face mask, as well as blood donation, because organizing because of everyone, because there is a lockdown in the country, so there is a shortage of blood. So as a young organization, we organize the blood donation camps across the country. So I think that we have already working on it, and our Prime Minister announced the relief package of 20 lakh crore. That is like almost $300 billion package for the relief package for the country. So in that we have already to build the infrastructure, as well as the relief, instant relief to the poor, like farmers, to the women, to the labor class, to that. So we are already, our Prime Minister already working on it. If you talk about the political things, it's going parallelly. I think first let's save the life. Let's fight against the COVID. Then later on we will discuss about the political things.
Mr. Rohit, according to Mr. Modi ji, made India neighbor first, such as a policy regarding in economy made India. Can you clarify what is made India or neighbor first policy?
Yes, as you as earlier I mentioned about the neighbor minister, as we Prime Minister said that we have a historical relationship with all our neighbors. So we were, as we believe that it's like a world is a family, and especially the neighbors. We were together. If you talk about Pakistan, if you talk about Bangladesh, and we were together earlier as a country. That's we have a relationship, and we always want to make good relationship with all our like Bhutan, with Nepal. We have 1,000 year of old relationship. So we have these relationship. We have to maintain it, as well as what you ask about the our, because in this pandemic, earlier like when this started, this coronavirus came, we India not like we are not producing any PP kit or mask or anything like that, not a single. But after this have started, this our Prime Minister taken initiative and did about Make in India. So Made in India. So we focused on that. So now every day we are almost producing like 500,000 PP kits or face masks every day. So as well as we always, our Prime Minister talk about vocal for local. So how to be vocal about the local products, so made in India products. So it will give more employment opportunities to the our youth, as well as having the equal importance to the products from the foreign. We believe that to make ask the companies to come in India and to make the products and produce their products in India. So our focus is on right now and that, as well as we are not against the like banning all the products, but we are welcome because it's a globalization society. So we believe if whatever we required, we will take it from the world, but more focuses will be on the our local products.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohit. Now I draw attention of Mr. Mir Hilal. Because of regional or international cooperation, forum or organization that might be military treaty or economic alliance that all empowers are leading the world and endorsing them. Our South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation has no real practice or effective response in that sense because of geopolitical calculation. Should our young politician in this subcontinent comprehend its prominence and initiate for its reinforcement?
Thank you, Zubair. Uh, I totally agree with what you have said. See, you have to realize this SARC was founded long before the European Union. As we all know of the European Union, just for ease of reference. Say when we I think I was a student of law back then when the European Union actually got executed. I think it was in 2001. See, this SARC was founded on the same principles, broadly the same principles. This was founded around the 78, 1978, late 78 or 80, something 78. So one of the key persons behind this was our late president, Sheikh Zia Rahman. So see, the philosophy back then, if we actually implemented that, and we had like a total regional cooperation amongst these 7 countries, it would have given our economy a lot of boost, and this the region as a whole might have developed. But still, there is time. If with the young politicians we think of it, we analyze the situation instead of going solo. If we can sort of work together for the total social, economic, and cultural development of the region, I think it is possible that we make this one of the most strongest uh, association in this world of globalization, because you see a lot of a small group of countries has gotten together so that they can build their countries together and they can move forward together. So there are 2 benefits to it. First benefit is, of course, there is an economic benefit, financial benefit, and but majorly it actually enhances the relationship between the countries. So it sort of joins these countries together, and so it gives us a unified platform to work on, and we feel a sense of togetherness. And that way a lot of say regional misconception or misunderstandings are much easier to tackle, and we can assist each other from our point of specialization, and also from our point of humanitarian grounds as well. So I think the concept of SARC, I'm a firm believer in SARC, and I do believe that someday it is going to become a very strong group, say, organization, which will benefit all the countries involved here. And that way we can have a regional cooperation and a total regional, if I can say in informal way, a total regional makeover in this region. And this could bring about a lot of socio-economic and political changes in the region as well. And together it can actually become a force that the world has to reckon with respect and uh, due diligence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shafijan, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Mr. Shafijan, in Pakistan, the major political parties are led by young leaders like Pakistan People's Party by Mr. Bilal Bhutto and Pakistan Muslim League by Ms. Mariam Nawaz. As a young politician, how do you evaluate their leadership?
I think it's really ridiculous to call Mariam Nawaz and Mr. Bilawar Zardari as young politicians. They have literally no personal achievement and are the ugly face of dynastic politics. And the rule is now a part of our past. Now public is well aware of their true faces, and they cannot win the trust of masses again. Both Bilawal and Mariam have plenty of corruption charges on them, both of them. Bilawal and Mariam, both of them. On a lighter note, it's wrong information, Mr. Jubair, because Mariam is not a youngster. Miss Mariam is a grandmother actually. As far as PTI is concerned, the party has many of actual middle class youngster serving as ministers, special assistants, because it's Imran Khan vision to empower the talented youth and lift up the purely on merit. Murad Saeed is one of them. Usman Dar is one of them. Kamran Bangash, the KP minister, Hamad Azhar, the federal minister, and there are many more examples. People like Murad Saeed are faces of our future, of them who themselves came into politics without any strong background and now are on key posts. So call him Bilawal Bhutto and Mariam Nawaz is a young politician. I did not agree with you.
But according to or comparing with Mr. Nawaz Sharif and Mr. Jardari and Mr. Imran Khan, they are comparatively younger. Am I right?
Yeah, you are right. But Mr. Imran Khan has a 22 years achievement on his back, while the Bilawal Bhutto and Maryam Nawaz have nothing on their back. They are the only the surnames of Zardari and Bhuttos and Sharifs. On a personal ground, they have nothing to show.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Pramad. Mr. Pramad, can you hear me?
Yes, I am listening.
Mr. Pramad, you are a university lecturer, University of Tribhuvan, and you work as with Center for Planning, Research and Training Academy of Nepal Congress. You could explain best about the one common factor through Nepalese history that has been that alliance never last. Alliance means political alliance that never lasts in Nepal. What makes your ruling elite prone to betraying each other and breaking alliance with regularity? It is not a new phenomenon either.
Question is not clear, Zubair. I do not understand.
Okay. Your ruling party, the senior.
Make it in simple term.
Okay, in the ruling party, the senior leaders, they are not. They are not come in a position. They are very much different opinions. That means it has been said that in Nepal, the political alliance does not last long. It is a common phenomena in Nepal political alliance, and they betray each other in over the time. So, what's the reason behind their betraying, and what's the reason behind their alliance that does not durable for a long period?
Okay. Democratic practices in Nepal, it doesn't have long history. Yeah. 2007, it is around 1950s. We got democracy at the time of B.P. Koirala. Then after we faced panchayat system. Then after 2046, it's around 1990s. We again fight for democracy. Then anarchism restart in Nepal. So the democratic culture, democratic norms and values, and it is not going to be matured, but it is on the way to get maturity. That's why the alignment between different political parties, the concept of the leaders, somewhere that converted into personal ego, and it fell down into some negative way. But I just want to tell one thing. Now the world converted into a global village. Civilization of one part diffused to the another part very fast, very rapidly. And we can observe, we can see, and we can understand by viewing, by feeling. That's why I just want to tell Jubair, power, status, in terms of economy, in terms of military power, in terms of population, it always changes. It always changes. That's why I just want to say relation in between the political parties, relation in between the neighbors, relation in between the entire world must be based on ethics, theory, not personal interest. This is 21st era. That's why in symbolic form, I just want to tell might is right. It is not the civilization of the 21st era. I just want to clear, we are our democratic institutions, our political parties do not get matured because of the disputes of different regimes. So it is going so, but now it is on the way, it is on the track. From last one decade, different youth leaders of different parties can talk to their party leader by sitting in front of them. This is not good, this is bad. We must have to follow this kind of rules and regulations, as younger, as youth leader, we can make conversation without any suffocation with our respected leaders. That's why Nepalese politics is going towards maturity day by day, and it is in the right path, I think so. Thank you very much,
Thank
Jubair.
you very much. Mr. Prema, do you have any question to our speakers, to our guest?
So one question that I would be asking all the guests, because right now I'm really confused. I thought that this is, as Rohit mentioned, this is a forum where we would be talking, how to keep this COVID-19, and what are the preventive measure that every country, the youth, that from Bhutan, from India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from Nepal would be carrying out. But so if I have a question, so what are the preventive measures that all of you guys are taking into place, measures, to stop this COVID-19 pandemic, to just keep out of the B and help the needy ones?
Our
I
speakers
just want to give you.
mentioned us answer according to your question, and in the next conversation, they will mention your answer. Okay, now I would like to request Mr. Shafi Jan. Mr. Jan, can you hear
Yes.
me? Mr. Jan, a
Yes.
large part of middle class society have already raised the question of government's role during COVID-19 pandemic, especially in economy. The government could not lead the country. Besides, the unemployment problem is another matter of concern. Now let us know the economic programs that steps have been taken by your government to face this humanitarian crisis.
PTI government has initiated various economic packages aimed at pandemic. Prime Minister Imran Khan accurately foreseen the economic hazards of lockdowns and inaugurated country first ever fair emergency cash transfer, SAS, which name is SAS Emergency Cash, to benefit poor and specifically Delhi wagers who were not getting enough money to feed their families during the lockdown. Until now, more than 155 billion rupees has been distributed among the unprivileged, though it's not the whole solution. But definitely, it was a sign of relief for the people of suffering from the both epidemic and financial crisis. Other than this, PM Imran Khan announced country largest construction packages to make revival of economy possible during these hard times. With the announcement of the package, new boost is construction industry has been observed. Investors are hugely interested in investing in a new project, which is for sure a symbol of economic prosperity in future in Pakistan.
Okay. Would you like to add anything?
No, thank you, Mr. Jubair.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jan. And now I draw the attention of Mr. Rohit. Mr. Rohit, as you are representing the ruling party, so all questions goes against you. It's an adverse question that I'm asking to you. Don't worry, no problem. India has the world's largest youth population, but with so many graduates out of work due to the lockdown, economists fear structural employment issues may end up affecting the future and the generations following pandemic. To tackle these cases, what types of measures have been taken by your government?
My friend Zubair, I think let me answer the first earlier question you asked me. I have skipped it because I don't want to make it more political. But I think I've already answered about 370, and let me answer
No,
about
you
the
can
CAA
understand my
because I
question.
think it will be in your heart and you want to know because you are from because this is all about the CAA is all about giving the citizenship to the persecuted minorities from our neighbor from Pakistan, Bangladesh, or in Afghanistan, like Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist. Jan, it's about giving the citizenship, and it's already passed. It was in our election manifesto. The 370 we have promised it, and that CA, and we did it. So our government and our prime minister, the vision, believe in delivering, and whatever our prime minister promised, he do it. So that's one thing. Second thing is about what you ask about the economic. I think as I've already mentioned, our Prime
Employment,
Minister. Uh,
larger employment problem that India is the largest.
yes, I'm
But
coming on that.
okay,
I'm coming on that. As you mentioned, that India is like we are like one sixth of the world population is in living in India and one fifth in the SAARC countries. So as you know that 65% of the Indian population is below 35. So we are a young country, we believe, in the case of the population. So as Prime Minister already um, announced the package of relief package of $300 billion. It's like 10% of the GDP. It is to the long term, to see the long term. In the short term, we organize a Garib Kalyan package to give to benefits to the like to farmers, the women's, as I mentioned about the laborers, about the handicaps, about the old age people. We have already like one lakh 70,000 crore package was that, but that is 20 lakh crore package is for the long term vision to create the infrastructure. And already, as you see that recently we had our Prime Minister having the conversation, the conference with the Google CEO. So they are also ready to invest in India. So after this, whatever the situation change in world over after this pandemic, and you know how the situation changes and countries are getting together against China and everything. So I think more and more companies and the countries are ready to invest, especially not in India only, but I think in India and Pakistan, maybe then Bangladesh and Bhutan, and because they want to come out from the country. So I think we are already our Prime Minister is more focused about the how to give employment. As I mentioned, Prime Minister talking about vocal about local. So how to be the vocal about the local products. So giving more importance to made in India products and make in India products. So it's already been started by this relief package that has been given by the our government.
thank you, Rohit, for a nice elaboration. Now, I would like to draw
Thank you.
attention, Mr. Barrister. Uh, it is universally acknowledged that in any crisis moment in Bangladesh, the youth, like you, have played a fundamental function to resolution the circumstances, even sacrificed their life in many cases. How do you evaluate their role in this pandemic?
Thank you, Zubair. Actually, this is good that we are come back to the COVID situation because, as Pema said and also Rohit said, this was arranged. I also was of the belief that this was basically to share our views in relation to how to tackle the COVID situations that's engulfed the whole of the world. It's like a pandemic. Yes. See, as we all know that this generation, this the whole world is now moving on the shoulders of the youth. So even in this pandemic, all the youth of our country, irrespective of party affiliations, they are actually trying to stand by the people in need and distress, not caring about what really the government is trying to do or government is trying to say, because to the youth, the people and the country is important. And it's amazing how from their own means and own wealth or own income, the youth had actually stood up to provide food to the needy and also to provide medicines and to help them to get medical facilities and also to provide them with masks and say sanitizing materials like liquid soaps and sanitizers, hand sanitizers. So amongst all the negativities of COVID, I've seen that the youth of the country, I'm sure that it has also happened to all the countries that we are representing here. The youth have actually stepped up to help the people of their country. And this goes to show that the youth, irrespective of what they believe in politically, socially, religiously, or culturally, they're united on that point of helping people and for humanitarian cause. So even in Bangladesh, I can firmly say that the youth of our country has acted superbly. And also, a lot of the people who were volunteers in these situations gave away lives. I know personally one of our councillors from Dhaka. His name is, I think, Khondokar Khurshid. He is a councillor of Naranga City Corporation. When no one was touching any one who died of corona for burials, we Muslims, we go for burials. This guy, he actually stood up on his own, and he actually started making burials and janaza prayers for a lot of people. Ultimately, he and his wife got sick and got infected with COVID, but Alhamdulillah, he recovered. So even after that, he's continuing. This goes to show that not necessarily the government or any specialized part or sections. It's actually the whole world is trying to work together to counter this or face this calamity that has hit us. This sort of things or pandemics don't happen every year. It comes like one in 100 years or maybe 200 years. So we have got this in our lifetime. I don't know whether we'll get another one like this, but we should all stand up and try to do our level best to assist people, as many people as we can. This is the most important thing. We have to be very humane towards others, and we have to have that mentality of helping people, irrespective of their background or whoever or whatever it is. That's my view on the role of the youth and in Bangladesh. And as I've seen, I've got many friends in all these countries. They also tell me similar stories about their own places as well. Thank you, Zubair.
Thank you. We are in the final stage, so I don't have any question. I will request Mr. Rohit to say something. I don't have any question to you. If you would like to say something regarding us, you can start.
I think I'm totally agree with what Hilal said. That right now we, as a together, as a neighbors, as a family, we have to work together to fight against this pandemic. And we already, as he mentioned, that beyond the party lines in India, especially, we are trying to help each other because the situation, I think, in once in the lifetime we have seen this type of problem, and everyone is suffering, every country is suffering, and we are trying to help each other, and that is the best way. Uh, Politics we can do later on, but right now, I think even within the countries, we are trying to best and um, like we have already discussed, I think, and our focus has to be how to do the collective efforts in the future also, because this has just happened, and these type of things will not happen. Even the how to, as a young leaders, uh, how we can do on the environment, because the things are changing very fast, and we can see how the problems are right now in the eastern part of, especially in Nepal or India or in Bangladesh, the flood situation. So we have to talk about these in the long term. So I think as a family, as a team, I just want to say, like, we must all prepare for the, like our Prime Minister said, we have to prepare together. We must all act together, and we all must succeed together. So this is, I just want to say, so together we will
Thank
do it,
you,
and
Rohit.
we will win it. And thank you so
Thank
much.
Mr. Prabhat, would you like to say something with us? I don't have any formal question to you.
Okay, respecting culture is the most important thing of this era. We must have to accept, respect, and we must develop, we must build, working together or holding the sky together. I just remember Nelson Mandela in this time, he told, country must be like rainbow. I just want to exaggerate this statement. Relation of the different countries, relation of the entire world should be like rainbow, should be like rainbow. Sovereignty is sovereignty. Either the country is big or small. Sovereignty is sovereignty. Either the color of the skin is white or black. Sovereignty is sovereignty. Dignity is dignity. Either you belongs to different religion, but we must have to understand we are belongs to human family. Humanity is our religion at first. Humanity, fraternity is the most essential things of the life That's why respecting culture, accepting culture, do not follow might is right in terms of XYZ, in terms of bigness, in terms of big in economy, in terms of big in territory, in terms of big in military power. It is not good for modern civilization. That's why now the world is converted into global village. We must have to remember one thing. As the member of SARC, if your neighbor became poor, you will not be safe. Either Nepal became poor, or India, or Pakistan, or Bangladesh, or Bhutan, XYZ. That's why we must have to work together, and we must have to respect our neighbors. If some disputes, if some conflicts comes, we must have to solve it bilateral means in the level of government or foreign affairs like that. That's why the major thing, the major characteristics of the youth is to respect. This was from my side. Thanks, Jubi, Prema, Rohit, Barish, Safi. Nice for thank you for organizing. We will be in continue contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Prema, please ask your comment in a line, just a line.
I think it is a very good forum where now I know a lot of people now. Now we are friends now. No more stranger. Mr.
you.
Hilal, Safi
Prema,
Jan, Pramod. So thank you very much, Zubair, for bringing us together.
okay, it's the same. Mr. Shafi Jan, would like to know your last comment for us.
I strongly agree with Mr. Hilal. I know many of the young leaders in Pakistan and many young people I saw with no one touched the dead bodies of the COVID patient. Many of them buried them, and relief forces, police forces relieved the COVID patients. And thank you for organizing such a platform for interaction. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Hilal, Harry, and thank you, Jubair, especially.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bester Mil Helal, your last comment.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Zubair. I thank everyone, Shafi, Zan, and Rohit Shahal, Prema, and Pramod. It's a wonderful attempt to have us all together and discuss our views from different parts of the globe. And also a good attempt to sort of get together the youth. It's actually, we all have to work together for the betterment of our own country and the region as a whole. And we hope that we can all work together to make a better world and to overcome this COVID-19 pandemic. I pray that we all keep safe, Allah keeps and Almighty keeps all of us safe, and we all stay healthy and well. Thank you everyone for bearing with us and sharing your views. Hope to somehow meet again and have this conversation further. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for
Zubair.
joining
Thank you
with
so
us
much,
at
Zubair.
night.
Thank you.
For stay safe, stay home. May God bless all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you very much. Okay, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.